Okay, so hello everyone. Really excited to just basically spend sort of the next hour together. We have a great demo day set of presentations that you'll all be able to hear. So let's begin. But first, we did just want to say congratulations, collaborators of Winter 2021. We told you that your 5 weeks would fly by, and I'm sure it has definitely felt that way. Again, you all were so committed, so motivated, and so hardworking. We saw all of you really just come together as a team over the course of 5 weeks, learn from one another across product management, design, as well as development, and really build some amazing products and learn and share a lot of learnings. So just again, congratulations, all of you. You've done a great job, and I'm really excited for you to also showcase what it is that you've built to everyone who's listening today. Though demo day, obviously, and all of Co.Lab could not be possible without our amazing instructors, judges, as well as mentors. So I did want to just give a shout out to all of them as well. They've stayed committed throughout countless weeks, helping out all of their collaborators as they learn to figure out and build their first products together as a team. And so we really couldn't have done it without you. And we're just so grateful for you all to have given your time and expertise as well. So thank you so much, judges, mentors, as well as supporters, and then finally also collaborators. Give yourselves a pat on the back because you got here and it's going to be amazing. So first, I did just want to start off by saying, hey, how do you make the most out of demo day? We do suggest that you update your Zoom name to maybe something, your full name, so that people can find you and can reference you. We also suggest that you turn on your camera if you can, just because it feels a little bit better to really be able to connect with one another. If you're able to, share your excitement, obviously, in the chat below. Tell us where you're coming from, where are you tuning in from, sort of your background. We'd love to learn more about you and have you all connect with one another. And if you're on social media, definitely tag Join Co.Lab as well as Demo Day on Twitter or Instagram. We'll be retweeting and sort of amplifying all of the voices there. And just use this time to really connect with us as well as one another. I think ultimately we're really here to support everyone and each other as we sort of succeed and thrive within the tech industry. So just happy to be sharing this space with you all. And with that, officially, welcome to Demo Day. You all are going to be seeing a lot of diverse products from a variety of different industries and just different problem statements over this next hour. It's honestly amazing just the different types of products and ideas that can be come up with when you are bringing in different people from different perspectives and different backgrounds. And we're really excited to showcase what it is that you can do and just all of the creativity that's out there in the world. Beyond just the products, though, that are going to be shown, Demo Day is really also meant to be a day where we're celebrating, supporting, and uplifting one another to just thrive in the industry. Again, I think some of us probably do feel some sense of, imposter syndrome or confidence, and we're really here to showcase that, no, you can do it, you have value, and you're valued. Did want to just give a little bit of a story behind Co.Lab and the You Belong in Tech community. I think for both Shafumi and I, we've realized that getting into the tech industry has ultimately changed our own lives. I like to sort of share this story that I came from a non-traditional, non-CS background, and it took me over like 500 interviews to ultimately land my first tech job. Actually, not even interviews, 500 applications. I got 4 interviews out of those 500. And so it was really difficult getting into the space, but obviously now that we've been here, we've sort of seen the impact that we can make. We've seen the impact that our team members have made. And we also recognize just the value of thought diversity, right? Regardless of what background you come from, academics, socioeconomic, racial, all of that, you bring such an important and valuable perspective into the space. And ultimately, that's what's going to allow us to succeed as we build products for the world as well. What we noticed, though, is also that collaboration is key, right? Ultimately, the best way to learn is by doing, and you can't do it all yourself. So when you're really in a team and able to leverage one another's expertise, that's how you'll get further than you can on your own. And we also wanted just the opportunity for people to show in addition to tell, go beyond the resume, actually build something that you're passionate about and acknowledge your ability to do that and share that passion with others. And so that's why Co.Lab as a program, we've created a space where over the course of a few weeks, teams of product managers, designers, and developers can actually work with a team of just like-minded technologists and really leverage each other's expertise to ship real products. So for some details, our collaborators get to work in real agile environments, simulating the workplace. They get to attend workshops, networking, and other fun events, as well as just get dedicated mentorship and be part of that community of motivated builders, right? But outside of just the program, there are two core values that we have at Co.Lab as well. And we want this to be sort of the case across all of our different events, as well as like resources and content. And that's just the value of community and the concept of everyone having value with their lived experiences and being able to share that value as well. And ultimately, that's exactly what we're trying to build. So I'll kick it off now to Shifumi.
Hey everyone, how's everyone going? My name is Shifumi. I'm super excited to be here today. So thank you so much, Helen, for all that background, super helpful. So ultimately, every single thing that we do collab as an organization and even as a community, we really want to spark action because ultimately learning should be active, not passive. We shouldn't be just like watching videos. We want to really allow people to put all the things that they've learned into practice, which ultimately helps them fuel growth. Because growth comes with discomfort and actually comes with doing the thing, learning and failing sometimes so you can move past some of those challenges. And ultimately, the whole goal of this whole thing is to build that confidence. And we do that through collaboration and community because we go much further by working with each other, not by just working in silos. So with Co.Lab, we try to break those silos as quickly as possible to allow people work together, understand what it feels like to work in an agile environment, which ultimately gets them the skills and prepares them for success within the tech industry. So in terms of our achievements so far, it's remarkable. We started, just last year in around like August or September. And in this particular cohort, we have 64 collaborators spread across 6 different time zones who are working together, collaborating, and building products and making change. Till date, we've had 40 different teams. That's 40 diverse products, from Chrome extensions to audio services, text messaging services, Chrome extensions, across product management, design, and development. We find that once you allow people to be creative, they really come up with really valuable ideas that they ultimately use to improve themselves and move their career forward. After this cohort, we would have built our alumni network with over 100 collaborators and growing. So super excited to have everyone support each other. It's also nice to see some collaborators from the previous cohort, help out some teams because they have similarities in the products and the problems that they are trying to solve. And alumni has ended up going into companies such as Microsoft, General Motors, like Twilio. So it's nice to see that people are thriving in the industry and several startups across different areas across Los Angeles, San Francisco, and the Toronto area. So we're really proud of the amazing work of coming in here, working hard, building stuff, and then going into the industry to succeed. And that's what we want to continue to do moving forward. And our collaborators can be found across Asia, Africa, Europe, and North America. So we're a global community continuing to grow, and we're super excited about what the future holds. I also wanted to also say big congratulations to all of the collaborators who have landed jobs within this cohort. So we do have some people who have managed to, get jobs. A lot of them are also currently still in the interview stages. So congrats to you all. We wish you success and we'll do all the things that we can to support you as you move forward and succeed in the tech industry. So super excited about that. So in terms of today, just to give you some context as to what has happened. So earlier today, just about 2 hours or so ago, 21 teams in this cohort have pitched to a set of judges, right? So they've done longer form presentations about their projects and what they've been able to accomplish as a team within 5 weeks. So don't worry, we won't get the chance to watch all 21 teams, but we'll be posting their product pitches on our website. So check them out later on next week, and we'll also send an email out on our newsletter. So if you haven't subscribed to that, feel free to sign up for our newsletter so you can get all the information about the projects that came out in this cohort. So now we'll be inviting, some of the judges to, highlight some of the teams that they'd like to present. We like to talk about this is not a competition, or we have a lot of diverse products and we obviously need some help deciding who gets to present to the public. So the judges will be helping us with that. And so thank you, judges, one more time. So we don't know who the, who the winner, who the highlighted projects are. We'll be finding out on the spot. So we'll be calling on the judges and they'll tell us, what teams will get to present. So it's really, it's really exciting just trying to figure out, what teams get to talk about the projects. So feel free to show support in the chat. So if you see any project, if you have any questions about the project, feel free to just like post that in. After the presentations, we'll be facilitating that Q&A to be able to help you get answers to some of the teams, and so they can talk about their projects and their learnings, their ups and downs, and ultimately how they've been able to make progress in a short amount of time. So definitely show your support. We're also on Twitter at Co.Lab. Feel free to tweet at us if you see any project that you resonate with. Feel free to tweet at us. We'll retweet and amplify the voices of our collaborators because we love them so much. And now I'll be inviting some of the judges who have deliberated. They've had that very difficult challenge of figuring out which team gets to present. I know it wasn't an easy decision, but I'll be calling them out now before we move on to the showcase. So we'll call them out all at once, so the teams get to prepare, and then we'll go on to the project showcase, which is where we're all here. So I'd like to ask group one. I believe Gemma was one of the judges. Gemma, please could you tell us who would get to present?
Yeah, this was a really tough decision, and we were torn on which team to go with, since all of the presentations were amazing. And as we reflected a lot on the judging criteria, we decided to go with Community Fridge Toronto.
So congratulations, Community Fridge Toronto. So you'll be the first team that will be presenting. So we wouldn't go into that now, but just make sure you prepare as a team, and we'll be calling you up when the showcase starts. So thank you so much, Gemma, for presenting us with that. So congrats to the Community Fridge Toronto team. I'm super excited to hear their presentation. Next, I'd like to call on group two. Can Vinay help us with the decision?
Yeah, hello everyone. This was quite challenging. Everyone was incredible. A very, very inspiring day today. We decided that the group we wanted to highlight was Flixated. But before we move on to the next one, I wanted to quickly call out all of the groups, Project Connector, Scene, and Subshare. They all did wonderful. I'm really excited to see how Flixated does in the public demo day.
Awesome, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vinay. Yeah, congrats to the team Flixated. Really, really excited about that. Next up, I'd like to call on Avi to share the results from your group.
Hey everyone. Yeah, our group was really strong and it was a very tough decision. Everyone had so much ingenuity with all their products, and technology was very exciting and really cool spaces individually. But the group we decided to go forward with is Alejo, and we're very excited to see what happens next.
Awesome, thank you so much, Avi. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah, all the groups has been so tough, and it's very interesting to see the different teams pop up. I'd like to also invite Juan to share the results from your group.
Hello, everyone. We spent a lot of time debating between two groups, and at the end, we finally choose Prompt Potato to highlight.
Congrats, Prompt Potato team. Super excited about that. I'm very excited to hear all the presentations. So awesome job all around. Thank you so much, Juan, for that. And lastly, I would like to call on, I believe, let me just double check, DJ.
Hey, yeah. I just want to start by congratulating all of the collaborators. You should be really proud of, your creations and all the work that you put in. It was really hard, as the other judges said, to actually pick something, pick a project to highlight there. All of them were really good. The one that we're going to highlight is Manabu. But yeah, again, I just want to say that for the 5 weeks, every project was absolutely stellar. A lot of hard work was put in, and you should be proud of it.
Congratulations, all the teams. I'm pretty sure like I messed up the order of all the groups, but we'll sort of revisit that. So thank you all so much, judges. I know that was like a tough decision, just like hearing and seeing all the amazing diverse products that came out. So we can't wait for the public to see those presentations. So very, very excited. So thank you all so much. So I'll actually like to, so we'll go in the order of the rooms, and we'd like to actually start with Flixated. So Flixated was in room 1. So the Flixated team, get ready to do your presentation. How the product showcase works is the teams have 3 minutes to present to the public, followed by 2 minutes of Q&A. If you have any questions for the team, feel free to put it into the chat, and Helen and I will facilitate the Q&A section. So will Team Flixated like to present?
Yep, I will start sharing my screen. Let me know when you can see it.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, awesome. So, hi everyone, we're Team Flixated. I'm Frances, and I'm joined here today with Ashley and Arun. This is Sam, a hardworking young professional who's very stressed because he doesn't have a lot of free time, but it's finally Friday night and he's excited to enjoy the limited free time that he has. So he wants to go onto Netflix and find something that he hasn't watched before to enjoy his free time, but he wants to make sure that whatever he picks is worthy of his time because he doesn't have a lot of it. So he goes onto Netflix, but he can't tell what's worth his time and what isn't. So he has to do a lot of research, both in and outside of Netflix. And before he knows it, he spent 30 minutes trying to decide what to watch and still hasn't picked anything, leaving him feeling frustrated, stressed, and exhausted. So what is the problem or the job to be done? Netflix users want to find a way to decrease time spent searching for a title that's new and worthy of their time. And so that's why we created Flixated, a Google Chrome extension that brings IMDb ratings and reviews right onto Netflix so that you can visually see what's worthy of your time and what isn't. You can hover over a rating to read the reviews, and the reviews show how many people agreed with it so that you can make an informed decision and spend less time searching and more time watching. Now, we didn't initially come to this. We first started out with version 1, which is now available in the Google Chrome store. And now I'm going to hand it off to our designer, Ashley, to walk us through her design process. Hey, Ashley, are you muted?
Okay, thank you. Right, yeah, so there are a few considerations that we chose to build and develop our product. The first one being that our product is primarily used for a function to really add value and add context to the user. So it needs to work with Netflix's existing interface, but provide a purpose and provide overall efficiency in the browser. So this means harmonious interface integration and a design that adapts to Netflix's ever-changing interface. Amongst the A/B tests. So handing it back over to Frances.
So we tested out version 1 with external Netflix users and had really promising results. 5 out of 6 users experienced a decrease in time spent searching when they use Flixated, which shows us that our product is in the right direction and providing value to users. And so I'll hand it off to Arun to walk us through development.
For the development process, we don't have any API on the Netflix side or the IMDb side to get all the reviews and information. So we have to rely on scraping technologies. So we use Scrapey, which is a Python framework to scrape all the Netflix titles and along on the associated reviews from the IMDb. Then we process all those reviews in a machine learning libraries for NLP. So we use Spacey to clean all of the reviews and remove all the stock words and shorten the reviews so that it could be fit inside the Netflix movie title card. Then we do a sentiment analysis to tag every review based on positive, negative, and neutral sentiment, so that it's easy for users to pick the reviews and differentiate the reviews without having to read the reviews. So we store all the data in a collection-based database, which is Firestore. Then we send all the data based on the request we get from the Chrome extension and deliver all those insight on the respective movie cards. Over to you, Francis. Yeah. So my key learning is quick deployment and user testing and interviews. It's not all mutually exclusive. It can go hand in hand with the proper planning. Ashley?
Oh, Ashley, you're muted. Oh,
Okay. Sorry, there we go. Yeah, my key learning was understanding that the key user experience encompasses not just your product, but also the surrounding environment.
And then my key learning is to listen carefully, not just to users, but also to your teammates, because as a product manager, you are the bridge between the two. And so with Flixated, the search is finally over. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome work, Team Flixated. the search is over. And it's also nice to see that your product is actually live on the Chrome store. So big ups to you and the entire team. Honestly, that's very impressive in such a short amount of time. So props to you all for the amount of work that you're able to do. So honestly, can't wait to try it out. Actually, I already tried it out. I was one of the beta users. So it's nice to see it working and it being live. So I'm very, very excited. So now I would like to move on to Q&A. So if you have any questions for the Flixated team, feel free to like put it into the chat and then we'll ask the questions on your behalf.
So I did think that Vinay pointed out that you all had an amazingly interesting just design story. Could you all share that a little bit?
Yeah, so yeah, I can cover it. So initially when we first started with version 1, we did a lot of user research and we found that the big users tend to use all of the information on Netflix already to make their decision, but the two biggest gaps were friends and family recommendations and ratings and reviews. But with friends and family recommendations, there's no real pain point because there's no search process involved. You just go onto Netflix and find the title and try out the first episode. So ratings and reviews was the biggest gap that wasn't found on Netflix. So then we decided that we wanted to do a Chrome extension so that you can still use all of the information on Netflix while get the additional information that you need to make your decision. And so then we tested out version 1 and we realized that the reviews lacked a certain amount of credibility because initially the reviews were built to be an amalgamation of the most commonly said phrases in the reviews for that movie. So for version 2, we iterated and changed the reviews to pull directly from IMDb, and these are actual reviews this time. You can actually see the number of people that agreed with each review. So that way you can trust the reviews more. And then, yeah, we tested out the ratings as well. The ratings were really successful. The color coding was really easy to see. And Ashley tested out the certain size for the ratings and found that a smaller size that's more discreet makes it easier to filter out and it's less distracting for the user.
Awesome. I have one more question for you. What was the biggest challenge as a team, working together with new people on this new project that's also not very straightforward? How did you manage all of that?
Yeah, so I guess like just speaking personally, I think the biggest challenge is really, where do we go from here? What is the next step? Because there's so much information and there's so much data and it's really difficult to determine the path forward. But I think the biggest key to our success to overcome that is really everybody on the team was adaptable, open to listening. Everybody respected each other's opinions and we weren't afraid to disagree with each other. Everybody always felt safe to voice their opinion. And I think it was through that safe space and that active communication that we were able to evolve the product and get it out quickly to users.
Awesome. You have a few more questions, but I don't know that we have enough time for that. So we'll definitely pass on those questions to you by some mentors and judges. Feel free to link the product, the Google Chrome product in the chat so everyone else can have access to that. Cool.
Sounds good.
Awesome work, Team Flixated. So now we'd like to move on to the next team, which is Team Alejo. Could you prepare for your 3-minute presentation, Dorcas, Amir, and Kemi?
All right, Amir is going to do the presentation. He's going to share his screen.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah,
you can see it now. Hi, everyone. My name is Dorcas, and with me, I have Amir and Kemi, and we are Team Alejo. Next slide. So imagine for a moment that you're filling out your taxes for the first time. Do you remember the feeling? It was daunting. You're seeing a lot of boxes, a lot of numbers, and you're not too sure what to do. And so for us, we decided to explore this problem space in relation to international students and how they feel navigating life in Canada. Next slide. And so most international students who be like this guy have this reaction and they will get frustrated and angry and sometimes actually destroy their personal property. That's not advisable. However, for international students, their frustration is warranted because they contribute $22 billion to the Canadian economy. That's a lot of money annually to contribute. Also, there's only 170,000 international students currently holding jobs in Canada, but international students are numbered at 640,000 and it's growing. Next slide. And so for us, our problem statement was centered around how might we help international students balance the challenges of advancing in their career and educational pursuits while struggling with the ups and downs of settling to life in a new country. Personally, as an international student over 10 years ago, I faced a struggle. Next slide. And so we decided to come up with Alejo, which is an all-in-one resource hub that actually caters to international students with the tools and resources, but also more importantly, the community to navigate life in Canada. So I ask a question, and most times it's to a friend of a friend, but this time around, I can just ask the community, or I can just find someone who can guide me along my way. Next slide. And so Kemi will speak on the design element.
Hi guys, my name is Kemi. I'm the product designer in the team. Yeah, so for Halejo, we brainstormed as a team and we decided to sketch out our user stories. After knowing our user stories, we sketched out the low fidelity wireframes, and we decided to test our low fidelity wireframes with the users to actually know if we're solving their problems. And based on the usability testing, we got some insights that actually made us to know what we will be presenting for our MVP, which is the community page and the profile section with the landing page, because that is what the users really want. They want a community where they can get to contact with a guide directly, or also just ask a question and they'll be able to get an answer as soon as possible. So our mission, our goal was actually to create a simple and clean and easy to use interface that would actually help our users get their task done in time. And for our font, we decided to go with Moolish. Moolish is a simple and clear and readable sans serif typeface. And for our color, we never wanted something too official. And that was why we went with this color scheme, just to make it a little bit friendly and appealing to the eyes. Yeah, I'm here.
Amira, you're on mute.
Okay, hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of the development, the design philosophy is that because we're like catering this product to a community evolve and grow over time. That's why the tech stack that I use for this project is the gamer stack, which is GraphQL, Apollo, Mongo, and React. Using GraphQL allows greater flexibility both on the front end and the back end for our application. And for the demo of our product, this is kind of like the experience that we want to provide to the user. They can go to the resources directly and see all of the past questions that have been asked, and also go to the users that they can schedule like appointment or meeting to have like more information answered. And we can see we differentiate between user and guide by having a full border around their user profile. And that is the demo for it. I'll pass it back to Darkness.
Yeah, so for some of the stuff that we've learned over time, it is one, to be flexible in our approach. It's very important to know when to pivot, when to take the user feedback and incorporate it and actually produce what is valuable to the user in a short amount of time. Amir?
For me, it's fail fast to grow more. Like the sooner you find the bugs in your code, the sooner you solve them. And Kemi?
Yeah, and for me, it is think outside the box, because actually as a designer presently in Nigeria, I'm trying to solve a problem and I'm not in the same country where the problem space is existing. So I try as much as possible to think outside the box. And yeah, this project, this product actually aid that, and it's actually enhanced my thinking ability. And I would say working as a team, actually, this thinking outside the box helped everyone. We actually grew and we learned more on this project. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
And with that, we've come to the end of our presentation. We will now take questions. Thank you for your time.
Awesome work. Congratulations, Team Alejo. Thank you so much for presenting that. I know, yeah, you're all in like different time zones. I believe, yeah, Kemi is like all the way in Nigeria. So I think my first question for you is like, how did you manage that? You know, you're one of the few teams that had like a really serious remote team, you know, across the ocean. So how did you manage that and, you know, go through all the challenges of building something?
I think the starting point was to discover how everyone liked to work. And for the most part, Kemi was already go. And we already had his experience and there were some things that he could get started on. And so we didn't necessarily need to wait for all of the steps. And although I'm someone who likes to be methodical in my process, when I realized that they have certain strengths, I played to those strengths. So whatever I could do beforehand, I did. And whatever they're able to do beforehand, they did. And every time we met, it was always productive. We were always thinking about the customer or the user of the product and thinking about whether or not what we've done fits or meets the needs of the user. And with regards to time challenges, although people like to meet over Zoom, we could also drop like comments on the chat, and we can also keep up with each other on the side. There was no limit to how we wanted to communicate with each other to make sure we got the job done.
Yeah, and I'll also add to that. Yeah, the team is actually a great team. Yeah, Dorcas and Mia, they're wonderful souls. You know, it's actually lovely to work with them and to actually learn from them and grow with them. So working with them has actually been awesome. Despite the time zone, the difference in the time zone, it has really been an awesome experience. And I think I want to keep in touch, and it's really been wonderful. That's just it.
Also, another quick question. I know a lot of people are raving about the name. So would you like to explain where the name comes from?
Of course. And so I've seen the Spanish translation of the name, which is actually really, really important because from our country, so I'm from Nigeria, Kemi is from Nigeria as well. Alejo is a Yoruba word from southwestern Nigeria, southern or southwestern Nigeria, that actually means visitor. And that is how a lot of international students feel when they first arrive. And even many years after, I know that I'm still navigating, still finding out things about my country, which is Canada now, and starting to find out things about the current environment or space that I'm in. And so I feel that the name plays to, number one, us being helpers from the Spanish perspective, but also plays to us catering to people who feel like visitors, even when they are seemingly at home in Canada.
Wow, such a powerful name. Thank you so much for that. Next, I'd like to pass it on to the CFTO team to present their project.
Okay, hello. Can everyone see my screen? Yes? Cool. Okay, awesome. So let's get to it. Okay, hi, we're Community Fridges Toronto. My name is Rachel. I'm here with Judy and Alex. So just for some background information, Community Fridges Toronto is an existing external organization that came out of a COVID response initiative. So they offer a network of fridges and pantries that are accessible 24/7 across the city. They're not a charity, but instead they just really rely on the community coming together to consistently and thoughtfully contribute fresh food and staples to those in need. So out of this, three main entities, I guess, came together to really keep this initiative running, and those are community members, volunteers, and small businesses. And so the problem space that we're addressing today is really due to the fact that information on the initiative can currently only be accessed via Instagram. And so this really limits the reach and visibility to Instagram users, which tend to run on the younger side. It's also just very difficult to learn about CFTO for these three different user groups as information is scattered across posts and stories. And so our solution here today is to work with the CFTO organizers to build a website that houses and displays all of their information in one virtual place for increased accessibility, visibility, and ease of learning how CFTO operates. And so I'll pass it on to Judy and Alex to walk us through our MVP.
Yeah, our website has definitely evolved over time in terms of the design as we try to prioritize our three user groups, their pain points, while considering the stakeholders' input. Initially, we had grouped the information relevant to community members, volunteers, and small businesses under one category, which was get involved. But after usability testing, we reached a solution to separate that information so that each user group could get access to that easily and instantly.
To build the website, I decided to use the Jamstack, which will allow CFTO to easily add and change content through a content management system and automatically rebuild the site without the need for a developer whenever text is changed or blog posts are added. I used Contentful for the CMS, Gatsby to generate the website files and to provide a fast app-like experience for the users, and Netlify to host the website and automatically deploy a new version when changes are made in the CMS or the code. I also used Google's Maps and geocoding APIs for the fridge map and search functionality.
Cool. So now going into learnings, I feel like from this, I really did learn the importance of clear communication for early stakeholder management and confidence because we were working with someone external. Judy? Oh, you're on mute. Sorry.
And I learned to balance stakeholders' vision with user goals.
And I learned the power of the Jamstack when creating static websites. I hadn't used this kind of architecture before this project.
As for next steps, we're planning to continue to work with CFTO past demo day to make a fully developed website and collaborate with a graphic designer, then conduct an accessibility audit, and finally launch the site to CFTO's Instagram followers and to the greater Toronto community.
Thank you.
Awesome work, CFTU team. Amazing effort. And I honestly love the fact that you worked with, an organization that had a real problem. I have a question for Alex. What was it like, start learning something brand new, or like putting something on top of your learnings to build this using Jamstack?
Well, I'm always looking for ways to expand my knowledge, especially just starting out as a developer. I mean, I've learned React, and so I figured I'd expand on that and use Gatsby to create the site because I've heard such great things about it, especially for the kind of site that they needed, as well as I hadn't worked with a CMS before, so I had to learn that. The Google Maps API, again, a lot of stuff I hadn't worked with before, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to expand my skills and my knowledge. So.
Well, that's awesome. And a follow-up to that is like, what would you say was the biggest challenge, learning something and building it at the same time?
And my biggest challenge, I mean, I guess so our MVP initially was like just a landing page, but I definitely wanted to push myself harder to get something, to get at least the locations page done as well. The design process does take quite a bit of time. So I was trying to find ways to work while I was waiting for like the front end designs to come through. Definitely a lot of time management involved with trying to get the locations page done. I definitely did that all in a day yesterday to kind of like, I really want to show this to people. I really want people to see this functionality. So yeah.
Amazing work, outstanding efforts all around. I love your matching backgrounds, by the way. I do have one more quick question before we move on to the next presentation. Rachel, how was it like, being learning to be a PM and then working with, I guess, clients to balance their requirements and also what's possible in the short time frame that you had?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it was definitely one of our biggest challenges. And I feel like as a PM, it was, my most important role was to support my team while also championing for these, organizer wants. I feel like mutual aid, CFTO, they go off of this mutual aid thing where it really takes the whole community to work together to contribute to this and not just like, they don't want this hierarchy, right? And to really showcase how well they're doing because, it really is relying on everyday contribution. So just championing for their wants and kind of narrowing the team down to that and always keeping them on track. And I feel like that was the biggest thing. And establishing biweekly meetings and check-ins with the CFTO organizers and making sure that we're ready to present to them the process and decision behind why we designed things the way that we did. I feel like it was a lot of different work and going back and forth.
Awesome work. We can't wait to see how much more progress that you make as a team. It's nice to see that you continue to work on it. So awesome job all around. Next, we'd like to move on to Team Pomotato. Did I say your name correct? Pomotato. Awesome. So Sally, would you like to kick us off with the presentation?
Absolutely. So team, let's put the presentation up. Okay, so hey collaborators, I'm Sally. I'm here with Joanne and Danielle, and we're here to tell you about our product, Pomotato, a better way to recharge. Imagine being so hungry and there's a box of cookies beside you. Rather than cooking a wholesome meal, you're likely to end up eating the entire box of cookies instead. That's because when we're already in need, we're less likely to make the good decisions on how to address it. In the same way, when the brain is already hungry for dopamine, it's easy to fall for low-quality stimulants like social media and internet binges that don't actually help. This sucks us into a low-energy cycle for hours with no motivation to do anything else. This is a constant struggle for those who have ADHD because of their natural dopamine deficiency. The more it happens, the harder it is to get back on the horse. Together with my team, we developed a tool to interrupt the cycle by inspiring our users to pursue better break time activities that help sustain their productivity throughout their day. Pomotato is a solution for ADHD go-getters to indulge in controlled distractions and anyone else who aspire to take healthier breaks. Want a break? Browse our activities. Don't feel like doing chores? Set a timer. with a curated list of activities that make them feel better, no obligations to please others, and a timer to help remind them when to stop. Pomatato is the Pomodoro for playtime, even when you feel like a potato.
So I'm going to walk you guys through Pomatato really quickly. This is our home screen, and down here you can see our curated list of activities, and users can see today's list of activities as well. If a user wants to add an activity, they would be able to put in the name, select tags, and add notes for themselves later. Once users select an activity, they will see information about how the activity gives back and how it benefits them, and they will be able to leave notes for themselves for later. They can either add the activity to their today's list, or they can start a timer. On the timer page, they'll be able to see the activity notes that they left previously, and when the timer is either up or they've completed the activity, we will ask them how it went. For this example, we'll say good, and then we will congratulate them for taking time for themselves and take them back to the home screen.
So there's a bunch of learnings that we learned from the past 5 weeks. A few include the This Meeting Will Be Successful framework, which really helps us keep our meetings focused with clear outcomes and next steps. So we always started our meetings by answering the question, meeting will be successful if. We also learned the importance of aligning on a problem statement early on, so we knew how we could anchor our design and decision-making throughout the process. And I think our biggest learning was communication. That was everything to us. We realized not only the value of communicating our progress and our wins, but also kind of like our struggles, so we could ask to the group how they could offer support.
And that's it for our presentation. We hope you have a good break this weekend.
Awesome work, Team Pomatato. I think there's a lot of love for the name down in the chat. So awesome work. I had a question for you all. I know you had some challenges generally, but to be here on demo day talking about your project and your progress, would anyone like to share sort of like how you felt during those moments and how does it feel overcoming that to be able to present something on demo day?
I'll start first. Hopefully I would love my team to jump in as well. So the funny thing is that I think a lot of the struggle came from me not taking a break. So going full meta on the problem that I'm trying to solve. But yeah, I think like what really made me feel so happy is when finally we put our presentation together and being able to see Joanne's beautiful design together and how far Danielle was able to get within a short crunchy time to see everything happen. And it was just a big sigh of relief. And so yeah, that's kind of how it felt towards the end.
Yeah. For me, there were a lot of moments where I was pretty stressed and I was like, I don't know if we're gonna pull this off. I don't know if we're gonna have anything when demo day gets here. So to now have something that we can show you guys and to see it all come together is just very satisfying.
Yeah, and for me, I think as at the beginning, I think we struggled a lot with just picking the problem within the problem space. There were so many conversations where we would talk for hours and hours. But I think once we kind of like all aligned, we knew like how we could make our decisions based off the research. And we knew how much time we had left. And every time I had a new idea, I'd be like, hey, Danielle, can we do X, Y, Z? And she's like, we don't have time for that. Let's focus on our MVP. So it was really great doing like that back and forth, especially with Danielle, just like showing her some ideas and be like, oh, it could do this, could do that. And then we'd kind of like go back and forth of like, what can we achieve with like X amount of time left? So yeah, I think just being able to see it come along together and especially focus on our storytelling, our presentation, we all got super excited towards the end. So that was great.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad you were all able to overcome some of the challenges and glad to see the outcome. It looks amazing, and I know there's a lot of love from it. Everyone wants to use this, so keep us posted on the progress. Definitely do take a break. You all deserve it. I know you all worked very hard, so congrats there. Yeah, we're a bit short on time, so I'd like to move on to the next and final team, which is Malibu. Did you see that properly? Sarah's team. Very, very interesting names that we have for our team. So Sarah, would you like to start the presentation? Malibu. There you go. Sarah? Oh, yeah.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Can you hear me? I was having audio issues before.
Right, yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, and you have 3 minutes and go.
Okay. So were you studying anything that was so boring, so difficult, so unengaging that you felt frustrated or even dropped out? Oftentimes we blame ourselves, but actually it's the design of the courses because they don't use learning science, which ultimately means they don't create engaging learning experiences. It's not your fault. We're learning oftentimes to move forward in our careers or maybe just self-improvement. To help you succeed in these goals, Manabu is here, a coaching app that will support you in your learning session.
So let me show you how it works. Okay, so let me show you how it works. The learner would navigate to manabuapp.com, and Manabu prefaces the learner with things to get ready before they start their learning session. The learner will select how often they want to be notified by Manabu. For our demonstration, so let's end the session. Manabu helps. Oh, now I am notified by the Manabu app. So let's click here to check it out. I am prompted with a question or a statement that will help facilitate my learning. Once I'm finished, I can go back to my learning. So let's do that. I decided that I had enough with my learning session, or I can continue it, but I had enough today. So let's end the session. Manabu helps me celebrate my learning wins with these prompts. And you know what? I think it's pretty good. I feel good about my learning session. Great. This completes our demo.
We learned a lot from putting this project together. From the beginning, we worked cross-functionally, from brainstorming to exchanging ideas every step of the way in order to create an MVP in 5 weeks. Our deep collaboration helped us to move faster and to work more efficiently and effectively with design and development in parallel, which is something very difficult to do. We managed this, and because of this, we got a working and effective MVP that you are seeing right now. Sarah?
And lastly, we'd like to leave you with this quote, which we think sums up Manabu very well. Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. So speaking for our team, it's been a joy sharing our project, and we thank you so much for your attention and listening.
Awesome work, Team Manabu. I believe the project is also live, so feel free to put in the link into it so people can try it out. So awesome work all around, and really very, very impressed with that. So in terms of a question, I know I know the answer to this, but everyone else might not know the answer to it. But why the name Manabu?
Hey, do Phil and Evelyn know?
Sure. I mean, if you want me to speak on it, I can. So Manabu means to learn in Japanese, and that's why we chose that name for it. And as for actually for the crow, I guess the logo of the app, it was inspired by, cute things, and apparently cute things help you learn more, I guess, effectively. And so this would be using the power of kawaii, which means cute in Japanese.
Awesome. Evan, do you have anything to add to that? I thought you were about to talk.
No, I'm
good. What's the biggest achievement would you say you've experienced, by putting this all together in such a short amount of time?
It was learning all the way down. I think we got the right parts. Definitely we want to work more in the project because at least I saw the benefits of it. Now I'm learning a lot during these 5 weeks. I really needed to concentrate and find a way. And actually by learning all of this during the project, it helped me really to improve my skills in certain ways. So it's definitely something we would like to take to more alive and that other people use it.
Awesome. That's super awesome. I know you were also learning as you were doing this, so that's very, very fascinating to see that progress. So awesome work. Philip, on the technical side, what would you say was your biggest challenge in putting this all together in such a short amount of time, and obviously managing all the requirements? And I assume there are other features that you wanted to build.
Yeah, so the biggest challenge for me was just really trying to put all of this together. And in the beginning, I was only working on the components individually. So we didn't have the final designs. We didn't have any wires or lo-fis. So what I was doing was we went down a list of features of what the app should have. And then I started working on how would this functionality be, I guess, put into the application. And so because everything is pretty new to me, like I have experience with React, but this project actually allowed me to develop a lot more knowledge, especially in the technical aspects, because I didn't know specific things like context, state. Well, I did know about state, but I didn't know context, and I didn't know about like routing. So everything was very new to me. And the way how I kind of overcame these challenges was I would learn something new, I'd practice it, and then I'll just try to implement it into my project. So that would be one of like the biggest challenges that I had, and it's been really fun, building out this project.
Awesome, that's good to hear. And I love how you ended with like involve me, that whole piece. And I think, that's not to plug Collab into it, but Collab is very involved, as you know. So thank you so much for that. Awesome presentation all around. Congratulations to all the teams. I think the projects are remarkable. There are other remarkable projects as well that will put their 3-minute pictures on on our website. So feel free to check that out. I believe all the presentations were super amazing. It was a tough decision for all the judges. We had no idea what teams would get to present, so it's nice to see everyone and the decisions that came out of all those breakout rooms. So I'd like to pass it back to Helen to round us off. And congratulations once again to everyone. I think it's been remarkable, all the things that you've been able to accomplish.
Awesome. Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Just super excited to see some of those products that are live. And also for all of the products that you all weren't able to see, we will be posting them on our joincollab.io website. And so you can always take a look and share with your friends as well. At this point, I did just want to, again, let's just have a round of applause for everyone. I'm just gonna physically clap and hope you all follow me. But yes, this was honestly absolutely amazing. And you should all be extremely just proud of yourselves. I'm just gonna quickly share my screen again. Can everyone see it so far? Yep. Okay, awesome. So yeah, great job again. I did want to just remind you all that, wow, that was the products that we saw today, as well as in each of our breakout rooms, you all got those done in 5 short weeks of meeting one another, not to mention aligning on a team vision, working out with your designers exactly what it's going to look like, doing the user research, figuring out whether it's possible, going back to square one, and even just coming together sort of as a team, right? You have to admit that it's just incredible. I think if you think about yourself a few weeks ago before even knowing everyone, and now having built that relationship of like working actually cross-functionally, understanding what developers do, learning some of the terms that you normally use in agile development. And that's really ultimately exactly the type of experiences that we wanted you all to get. And I'm just super grateful and like happy that you all got to experience that, and that you also shared some of your learnings outside as well. And we're just very excited to see where you all take your projects as well as your newfound learnings. So just to close out demo day a little bit, again, for every single collaborator out there, give yourselves a pat on the back, right? Well, even if you weren't able to be one of the teams that just presented again, we will be sharing everything, and you also still did such an amazing job. So please physically go on, pat yourselves on the back. Did want to do a call out for everyone out that's listening, supporters, mentors, instructors, or just future collaborators. I know that we already have some that are signed up for the spring 2021 cohort, but did want to do a call out is that if you are interested and you want to get that cross-team collaboration and you want to learn by doing, and you don't want to be told, you want to figure it out on your own with a supportive environment and community, definitely join us for the spring 2021 cohort. You can go and sign up at joincolab.io. We're excited to have you and take a look at those applications. Again, shouting out to rave about everything that you learned, all the cool extensions that you're about to download, and just make sure to tag joincolab_io and demo day on either Instagram or Twitter, as well as LinkedIn actually, and we'll retweet and sort of broadcast and amplify everything that you say. It's just a very good time to like come together and just celebrate as well. Did want to call out here that collaborators, mentors, and alum, we will see you all both on our You Belong in Tech community, as well as at Co.Lab Day next Saturday. So very excited for that. Again, that's sort of like a mini reunion from everyone within our network, and you'll be able to come and listen to a few recruiters give top tips and just have some fun. We have like a DJ. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lastly, I did just sort of want to end up on this screen. Ultimately, you belong in tech. Like we said at the beginning, every single touch point that we have, every single collaborator that goes through our program, we really want you all to just truly believe that you do belong in tech. I think, as imposter syndrome is now this term that everyone sort of can resonate with, I think it's just recognizing that you're not alone and there are people behind you who recognize your value with the different experiences that you're bringing into the industry. And we are here to tell you, okay, we are here to tell you that you are going to do an amazing job. You are more than capable. See, you came across Co.Lab and you created this thing, right? And it was hard and it's not easy, but you are more than capable of taking that no matter where you want to go in your careers. So again, we're so grateful to have been part of your journey. We can't wait to see what you get up to. And yeah, so you belong in tech. And with that, that is the conclusion of our demo day. Let us know what you thought about the event. Let us know what you thought about any of the products. We'd love to see it. And yeah, so thank you all again for tuning in and giving us your time, your space, as well as your kind words. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.